All right, y'all. It's Vaughn. Before we get started, you can find the Spin the Rock podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. For updates, go to our Twitter at Spin the Rock, and while you're at it, check out our TikTok too. All the links are in the description below. Thank you for listening and enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome to the Spin the Rock podcast, a basketball podcast for fans with fans. I am your host, Angel, and with me today is
Eugene,
Tyler.
And Vaughn.
Okay, the first preseason episode with all four of us. Let's go. Last week was the first preseason episode, which is the first one with all four of us here. So that's hype. Let's just get into it. A lot of stuff has been going down. We're getting close to the season. We're going to start off with the bad news, the stuff that is kind of unfortunate, which is Celtics head coach Ime Udoka is suspended for the 2022-2023 season. How do you feel about that, Vaughn?
Okay, you know what's crazy? When NFL ex-player Brett Favre steals millions from a welfare fund, and we're talking about Ime Udoka. That's pretty crazy. Man said, "Oh, great job getting paid millions. Got my Hollywood actress wife Nia Long. She just moved over East Coast. We just came out from the finals, and he said, life's good. How do I fuck it up?" And he decided to do that. It is very unfortunate. Honestly, he's suspended for a year. Low key, he might not even be there next season. I already seen Woj reports saying how other teams are monitoring the Udoka situation to see if he becomes available. I'm like, oh my god, someone's gonna swoop him up for sure. That's just the way it goes, though. Mans listen to the intrusive thoughts. He could have just gone home, locked the bathroom door, and just
so he could have went ham for that.
He could have took care of business instead.
If it was that bad, for real.
What a just terrible start to this season coming up for the Celtics. We got that. Gallinari tore his ACL, and then Robert Williams is getting surgery. He waited this long to the end of the summer, so he's gonna be out. So it's just very unfortunate, everything going on.
Yeah, it's rough time for the Celtics, and all that happened in a month, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a really rough time. Moving on, we just want to bring that up briefly. We can't do the podcast without mentioning the Udoka suspension. Something this is ESPN recently made a top 10. When we're not going to give our top 10 yet, we're just going to discuss it, but they put out a top 10 player list, and man, I'm just going to go off 10-1, and we can discuss on whether we love it or hate it. Number 10, Devin Booker. Number 9, John Morant. Number 8, Kevin Durant. Number 7, Jason Tatum. Number 6, LeBron James. Number 5, Steph Curry. Number 4, Joel Embiid. Number 3, Luka Doncic. Number 2, Nikola Jokic. And number 1, Giannis. I'm not even gonna try the last name. What y'all think about that list?
I told y'all in the group chat already. The fact that Stephen Curry is at number 5 that's such a crime, bro. This man won literally everything but the regular season MVP, and he's at 5. I got him. I personally you could argue number 1 if you want, but he's top 3 for sure. There's no debating that personally. Giannis at number 1, understandable. Jokic is understandable. But you got Luka and Joel Embiid over Stephen Curry. Come on, bro.
And KD and LeBron.
Yeah, let alone LeBron and KD not even in the top 5. This is ESPN, bro. I can never take them serious, man. I think they put Paolo over. I don't remember who it was, but they put him at 60 something, top 60. and he hasn't played a game yet.
Before
Like
playing the
exactly,
game.
like rookies that have never played never need to be in the. Man, there's so much more I could say, but that's just a crime, bro. Like, come on, man. At 5, like, no, bro.
Well, they obviously like do this for the clicks, right? Like, there's no way someone's like, yeah, this shit's fire. No,
This
no,
is
it's
a
not.
list.
Look at us using our basketball knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know. If they were serious, whoever made that list needs to get fired or like never make a list ever again. You know, like Giannis at 1 and Jokic at 2. Like, you know,
Debate.
I'm not really debating that, but and probably even Embiid at 4. Like, you can make a case for him in top 5, but then you got to think about where Curry, LeBron, and KD, literally the top 3 best players in the world, are placed at right now. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, you can make a case for Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid, but it's just like you can't really place, especially, bro. Like, I get it. LeBron's 37. You know, he turning 38 this year. Like, you know, like he getting up there, but like, come on, bro. It's LeBron James, bro. I'm not even speaking out of, you know, Laker bias, but
It's facts.
you gotta give this respect where it deserves. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
whatever.
wild ass list. They said, you know, LeBron's number 6. Let's put him at number 6. Like, match the jersey with the list ranking. Why not? Yeah, I would, because they released a bottom 5 first, and I was like, who in the hell is a top 5? I was like, who in the hell is a top 5? If this is a bottom 5.
Yeah,
But
6 through 10 was when they released that. I was astonished, bro.
yeah, so
Like,
wild.
Truly bamboozled. Like, it was bad.
Moving on from that atrocious list. More news for you. CJ McCollum signed a 2-year, $64 million extension. So that will take him to the 25-26 season. How y'all feel about that?
I don't feel no type of way about it personally. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he would have just left after this trade, but I guess he thinks that. I mean, aside the 64 million that they just threw at him, like he might think he could turn around the team. But hey, I don't really feel no type of way about it personally. But it's good for him, you know.
I think it's a W for the Pelicans. I mean, I feel like he was the difference between them making the playoffs last year and not, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm excited to see what happens next season when he's actually got the full season ahead of him, you know.
Yeah, like New Orleans probably celebrating in the streets right now. They got the man who brought them to the playoffs. Like, they were legit a losing team in the season, and then he came and like became their savior. And not only did they make playoffs, they like beat the first seed in 2 games, which is impressive. And that was all without Zion. So you already know Pelicans fans are excited for this season, if anyone stays healthy.
Yeah, facts.
I think they did it with the coach who hasn't really been coaching like too much, right? Or it was his first head coach job, I believe.
Isn't it like what's his name? Willie Green?
Yeah, he played for Monty. I know he played for Monty back in New Orleans. I don't remember the name off the top. I think
Willie
it is.
Green.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, good news for all Pelican fans. The dynasty starts now. 3-peat in the works already. But moving on to our big topic. We don't have a hot seat today because all 4 of us are back. And we have a lot to cover this episode. So no hot seat this episode. But moving on to our main topic, big threes. We each all have one East and one West, big 3. Not that many duplicates except for Vaughn and Tyler, who when they sent me their big 3s, they had the exact same East and West, like the exact same for both. So, but you know, they shuffled it up a little bit, so you know we're gonna hear a few good teams. So starting off with the East, and it's Tyler's. Why don't you start us off?
All right, so Obviously, this team hasn't, or this big three hasn't played together yet. This is a potential big three. I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Hawks because I'm personally interested to see what DeJounte Murray is gonna bring to the team. You already got Trae Young and John Collins, who I feel like is an iconic or is a good dynamic duo. So the big three consisting of Trae Young, John Collins, and DeJounte Murray. I feel like he'll help alleviate a lot of pressure off of Trae Young, especially in the crunch time moments, and just someone to help complement his game. I feel like they're going to be a really good backcourt because Murray proven obviously to be an all-star. Trae Young is Trae Young, and Collins just a beast on both ends of the floor. So I feel like the Hawks can do some damage this season. So
Yeah, they're interesting because they got like DeJounte to cater to Trae Young's weaknesses, which is defense.
Yep.
So now I think it'll be a very similar situation to the 2016 Celtics when you had Isaiah Thomas and right beside him Avery Bradley, who at the time was known as the defensive specialist. So I think that's probably how it's gonna like end up being similar to that system.
I think it's going to be interesting to see like how they run their offense because they play very similar styles, you know, pass first but can score the ball. So obviously it's probably Trae Young going to ball handle the most, but to see what they do with DeJounte, I think is going to be pretty interesting to watch. I'm excited to watch them though.
Yeah, it's very exciting. John Collins must be super happy. He's like another person who can pass me the ball. Let's go.
Yup.
I think it'll be
twice as
interesting.
much now.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's really interesting is, there's always those Trae Young Steph comparisons, but they are actually very different players, and Steph moves like crazy off the ball. Like you can't just take your eyes off Steph because he's making cuts. He's running around. People are sending cuts off the ball or picks off the ball for him just to get open. So I wonder if they like make plays for Trae to be like that player. I would like to see that because like up to this point, it's always been Trae with the ball, like coming up to core, and I think that's how the Heat managed to exploit that in the playoffs last season. So it'll be interesting for sure.
Now that you bring that up, though, that's probably a scheme they got going, you know? Like, DeJounte brings up the ball, Trae just runs down the court, run whatever set play they got, and find an open three.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Collins lob threat. It'll
Yep.
be interesting.
Yep.
Yep.
Exciting stuff down in Atlanta for sure.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you get us your East, Vaughn?
Okay. All right. So mine's tried and true. Like, how are you going to deny it? Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday together. First year Drew's there, they win a championship. And then the following year, it's just like if they were all together, if Chris Middleton wasn't hurt during the playoffs, it could have been a different story. It really could have. I would like to imagine a world where he plays and the Celtics still go to the finals, but honestly, who knows? But since they'll all be back together, that's my big three for sure. Like defensively, they're just like a scary team to go against. Giannis is defensive player of the year. Drew Holiday is probably like when he was in New Orleans, like people would say he's good, but they'd often say like he's underrated because they just didn't talk about him because he's on the Pelicans and they weren't doing the greatest, even with Anthony Davis there. But then he finally gets a full complete team, and where they go, the finals, win a chip.
Yeah, the Bucks are like scary, like especially with that three threat that they've been developing. Like once Giannis gets that 3-pointer consistent or any jumper consistent, you're gonna be terrified once they have ball on offense because like you got Chris, Drew, and Giannis who can literally shoot. Like you're gonna be terrified. Is Giannis gonna sprint at me or is Chris gonna hit a corner three? Like what's gonna happen?
Bro, even now, like when Giannis be shooting threes, he be making me look stupid. I'm like, oh, let him shoot that, and then he drains it. It's like the most random thing to see.
Yeah, like you already know we had the same East team, and you pretty much hit everything. And I feel like recency bias kind of like made people. I'm not gonna say completely forget about the Bucks. Is like we seen what they all can do together when fully healthy. Like you said on defense, a former defensive player of the year, And I believe it was game 5 in Phoenix where Drew Holiday was just absolutely clamping up Devin Booker, and Chris Middleton's Chris Middleton. You know, he got a strap on him. So yeah, like people need to like remember like what they can do when all fully healthy. Like they huge part of the team, of course. So
I mean, I think y'all touched on everything. I guess one thing about Drew Holiday, y'all have probably seen, you know, a bunch of players say that he's their hardest matchup to go against. You know what I'm saying? Because like he can counter, you know, the players counter so well, if that makes sense. Like he just knows. It's almost like he sees the future in what the offensive player is going to do. So that's what makes him so good. And he like stays on his feet well, slides his feet well. You know, he averages like what, 2 steals a game, something like that. Like
Something
he's just,
insane like that.
yeah, he's claimed God, bro. Great player to watch.
Yeah, and Chris, you know, Chris is gonna go off this season with that backhanded comment that one reporter made, where he said, "What did he say? He's a good ball player, but he doesn't have the same appeal as LeBron and Paul George." And he basically called him up. Like Chris gotta go off. He can't take that. He has to carry the Bucks this season.
Says me personally, I
Yeah,
wouldn't take
facts.
that level of disrespect. My East team, it's got to be the Cavs. You know, they're more like a big 5 almost, but the big 3 would probably be Donovan, Darius, and probably Mobley, either Mobley or Allen, because like they're on the court at the same time. It just depends who they use more, you know. And I feel like Jared Allen is used more on the defensive end, as opposed to Mobley can actually shoot, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, it's really like a big 5. Who's their 3 right now?
It
Is
might
it,
be
uh,
Isaac
is it
Okoro.
Karis-
Okoro?
or Karis LeVert, one of the two.
Oh,
One of
Karis.
those two.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, they got an all-around team, but it really just depends on who they use the most and who performs well, you know. But I gotta go with the Cavs.
Yeah, Cavs are also scary because, like you said, the fact that a big 3 can, like, the third person can switch between 2 people, that's terrifying. Like, Allen or Mobley, like, either one is kind of scary, like,
Right.
as a part of that big 3. So, like, Cavs are, like, pretty solid right now with that.
I think they are scary. Mobley doing this at just what, 21 years old?
Yeah, literally.
Man. And then you know Jared Allen, Garland and Allen were both first-time All-Stars last season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got 3 All-Stars on one team now. That's kind of scary. No, man, I'm just saying that's kind of scary, bro.
You got 3 All-Stars, but you also got like another young players. Like maybe we take the All-Star out and put Mobley in to form this big 3. Like what do you consider there? So yeah, that's versatility right there.
Yeah, and they're the youngest we've mentioned so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like even crazier. That's like even more insane. That so like they're the youngest so far we've mentioned in the East wise, and they have like 4 people who can like make a big 3. Like that's insane.
It's like a video game and then DLC. That's what they are.
Okay, well, me and Eugene had the same net East pick, and that was the Nets. But I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the Nets is like, oof. Just the idea of Ben Simmons, KD, and Kyrie playing together is insane to think about, because like Ben Simmons' problem was like, oh, he never shoots. Well, now he doesn't have to. Now he can go full point guard like he always wanted to, and just make these insane. He can throw it over to Kyrie to shoot a contested 3. He can lob it up to KD. He can do so much. He has like so many weapons at his disposal, and those 3 together is just like Brooklyn is gonna be kind of like insane to watch next season.
Did you see what he said on JJ's pod?
I did, but I don't. My memory's crap, so I don't remember what you said.
He was saying like, so you said that he didn't really have to shoot, but what he said was something along the lines of that he was just gonna like just shoot outright, no matter if he was open or hella tight guarded, and it didn't
Yeah.
matter how many threes he was gonna put up, he was still gonna put up his threes. So I don't know, but we finna see.
Yeah, for real. Like all jokes aside, though, like people, like all jokes aside, I feel like Ben Simmons, like aside the shooting, he's a great player. Like he's good on both ends of the floor, and like I think there was even a point where people were like putting him in like the defensive player of the year conversation. So that's something that gets overlooked a lot, I feel like. And you already said my point with he doesn't have to worry about the whole shooting thing because he got Kyrie and KD. But then like when Eugene said he's gonna start shooting, so it's gonna be good to see. Hopefully he actually actually goes through with it. So
I say they'd be best suited for a best duo in the league. Big three. I don't have
Yeah.
faith in Ben Simmons, bro. I don't. Like when he was on JJ's podcast talking about that dunk he could have had but passed up when Trae Young was guarding him. He just said like, "Oh, it was in the moment type of thing." Why didn't he just say that after that game? That man sat out for the season and requested a trade because he couldn't just say, yeah, like I just saw a jersey out of the corner of my eye and I thought I was going to get blocked and I thought Matisse had a better shot. Just say that. Like, that's a wild thing to keep to yourself for a year. So maybe like he's got to work on his communication skills better than his 3-point shot or something. And like with Kyrie and KD and how like the media is like headhunting them for like drama and stuff, like hope that doesn't go to Ben's head if he was willing to sit out a season for that. So I think the biggest enemy of them is gonna be like off the court stuff. But that's just what
No, that's a good point. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just excited to like see them all on the court. Like it's been a while since we've seen Ben Simmons play. And like I'm kind of like agreeing with Tyler here where like I think he gets a little too much flack. Like he really is like a good player and like defensive like minded and stuff like that. So I just feel like the idea of them three playing is gonna be like is insane to me. Will it translate? I hope so. Like, I really hope so because that could just be so fun to watch. Just like a playmaking Ben Simmons with like KD and Kyrie at his disposal.
Yeah, I'm not like preying on his downfall, but I'm just a skeptic. I'm just a skeptic.
All right. Do we have any East honorable mentions before we move on to West?
I would say the Sixers, because you got Harden and Embiid, and those guys carry lots of high expectations in them. And then they got Tyrese Maxey, who just like has a bright future ahead of him. I'm gonna be biased just a little bit on the side. Tatum, Brown, and Robert Williams, like defensive ceiling, probably like one of the best trios out there. Because I mean, we saw it. Like they were the first defense last season for a long time. So that's why I mentioned those two.
I would have said my team, but I feel like it's more of a duo more than a trio, man. Like I gotta vent a little bit, bro. Like Vucevic, he has them games where it's like, okay, this is why we traded for you. Some other games he doesn't know what basketball is, bro. Like I'm not no hooper, but dog, come on, you 7 feet, you can't get a rebound. That's why I'm not even gonna consider him. Like as much as I love my team, that I feel like it's more of a dynamic duo right now. Vooch got to prove himself this year, and then we'll see. But yeah, that's it for me.
I got a hot take. Could we say the Heat?
Oof.
You thinking Butler, Oladipo, and Lowry, or did I get one wrong?
Adebayo, Lowry, maybe?
Oh yeah. What?
True.
What am I thinking? I don't know how he slipped my mind.
I thought you were gonna mention Hero.
I was thinking Hero too. I was thinking
You could argue that.
I was thinking Adebayo, Hero, and
Lowry.
How say Lowry go?
I feel like we could. I feel like we could throw him in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Hero scares me because sometimes he's like a monster, and then sometimes he's like, like he's just like there, just like taking up space on the court.
But you
So I
got to
feel-
think about it, bro. He just won 6-man.
True, he did just win 6-man.
They're
Like,
probably,
After a
I
bad
see what
season.
you're saying, but like he just won 6-man.
they're probably more
Who-
interchangeable than we thought. But
Who would you
Right.
say is the number 2 on that team? Because Jimmy's number 1. Who's number 2?
Probably
Maybe
I would say
Bam.
Bam. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bam. I'd say Bam.
Before last playoffs, I also would have said Bam, but like he looked like he didn't want to score the ball sometimes,
That's true.
which was like concerning. And then like Hero was hurt, so it's kind of hard to tell if he was the number 2. Or maybe
You
that-
could. I feel like you could argue Lowry because he can get some buckets as well. But I don't think. I feel like Oladipo is still kind of like trying to find his
His place.
his place with that team right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I would say number 2. You can go either Bam or Lowry right now.
I'm gonna just say right now, I don't think it's Lowry. I'll hate. I like Kyle Lowry, but he's on that downward slope.
I mean, that makes sense. It's his 14th. Was it his 13th or 14th season last year?
He's
Yeah,
like
something like
30,
that.
he's like 36, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess yeah.
I don't know.
I understand that.
I think he could still do some things. I feel like he's shown like flashes that he's like not that washed yet. Like he's getting there for sure. Like there are some nights where it's like Lowry, Jesus, buddy.
Well, that's why it's like, can you include him a big 3 if he's good in flashes?
Well, I wouldn't say he's big 3,
Oh, okay.
but like as of right now, it seems like he's the like Bam slightly edges him out for number 2. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Bam. It's just like everyone knows how good he is defensively. It's just like he needs.
Yeah.
I don't want him to end up like Rudy Gobert. He's got no offensive bag.
Nah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
Yeah. Okay. Let's be honest. He wouldn't do what Rudy did in Euro League or whatever it was, where Rudy like had Schroeder on him and like
And
went
couldn't
to
post him
shot-
I forgot about that.
So, Bam's not that low. I'll give
Yeah.
that.
Heat is interesting for sure. Cause like it's for sure Jimmy and Bam, but like the third one is like who's gonna like finally step up and take that third spot.
Right. That's why I said it was a hot take.
Yeah. No, but it's a good one though. It's a good hot take. I was gonna say Sixers, but Vaughn already mentioned them. I just feel like a serious Harden, like it's gonna be fun to watch, especially like him going out of the way and taking that pay cut. You don't do that unless you're like actually like willing to like go you're all out.
Right.
So it's gonna be exciting to see the Sixers for sure. And I have some thoughts about Joel Embiid that I'm gonna save for our last preseason episode. But like it's just exciting, the Sixers for sure. Let's just hope they can live up to their hype for once. All right, moving on to West, and I'm kicking it off. I'm saying this because Eugene is saying something, and I knew you'd. So, Baxter, Eugene messaged the group chat saying, "I'm not gonna say Lake," or he's like, "I'm gonna say Lakers," and then like 2 minutes later he said, "JK, I'm not." So then I was like, "Good," because I'm saying Lakers. I'm stepping in. I'm filling those shoes.
What was saying, bro?
A lot of West teams, I feel like everyone like already knows them, and I was like, no one's gonna be bold enough to say Lakers. Like once Eugene said he wasn't, I'm like, bet I'm taking it. This could be the season, where the Lakers are not disappointing. They don't have much on their team, so they really have to step it up this year. And I feel like Russ, he's tired of the slander. He's and like tired of the slander for sure. LeBron went full bald. You know he's gonna go crazy. He's working on a 3-point shot. He said, "All right, let me get into my MJ mode real quick. I'm taking every jumper I can." And then AD, you know, is AD. Like, I know last season he was doing some wild things on the court, you know, acting like a guard. But you know, they talked about how they keep talking to each other and keep having these, you know, little meetings with each other. So I think they're on the full same page and they're gonna step up to the plate. It's just, I think they're gonna be fun to watch.
So you think Russ is going to be our third?
Oh yeah, Russ is for sure gonna be third.
He
I
ain't
don't-
one nor two, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
love
was just asking because like we got
you're right.
other players, so I was just asking.
No, you're
Well,
right. I
okay.
love Russ, but come on.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone's better than Russ on that team. Maybe Pat Bev is finally gonna have his career year, like he said a couple years ago.
The next 5 are mine. Head ass.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think Russ is for sure gonna be 3, and he, you know, he's tired of the slander. And last time he got this much slander, he had an MVP season. So, you know, hey, might be fun.
I'll say this is his last year on his contract. So I feel like this season it's going to be more of a I'm here so I won't get fined type deal. Like he's just playing it out for the money, maybe. That's my guess. I think he is tired of the slander, and if he were to prove it, like prove them wrong, it'd be elsewhere. Like he's like, okay, I'm phoning in this season. I'm gonna compete as much as I need to, but I'm leaving. Like, okay. I'm thinking like Chris Paul to the Thunder. Like obviously he's not going back to the Thunder, but he's gonna go to a different team, and like that's where he's gonna prove himself. I don't know if it's on this Lakers team though.
We'll see, bruh. You got it, though, Tyler. You got it.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say, you know, LeBron he's LeBron, so I don't really got too much on him. AD, please, I'm not even a Lakers fan. Just stay healthy for the love of God. Russ, you don't need to shoot the ball. You can go in and just do what you facilitate, dunk on somebody. Just don't shoot the ball. You don't have to
Play like
force
your
shots.
position, please.
Exactly. That's all, you don't need to play hero ball. All right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I thought. Oh,
For
sorry.
me,
Go ahead.
I just think it's more of a duo, kind of like what Vaughn was saying about the Nets, about the Nets. I really just have to see more out of Russ before I call it a big 3, or just, you know, whoever the third is going to be. I got to see more, you know, but that's my opinion.
That's understandable. You know, as a Lakers fan, you went through the pain of Russ not performing the most, so it's like very understandable. All I'm saying is, if I'm the Lakers head coach, I'm giving AD a glass of milk every day. I'm letting LeBron smoke his cigars,
Drink that wine.
and I'm making Russ shoot at least 53s after every practice. Like that's what I would do as Lakers head coach.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, if it'd actually be kind of funny to see Russ and Pat Bev win a title together after the many years they went at it.
Bro, that would actually be hilarious.
Like,
That
I'm
would
not-
actually be hilarious.
Like, if they actually have a chance, I wouldn't mind if they won just because of that. Like, I know it's a dumb reason, but like, I would love to see that. I don't know why.
Russ, Pat Bev, and Dennis Schroeder getting in the ring before Chris Paul. Like,
It'd be such a full circle moment, man. I swear.
I think what LeBron would love most is if AD was the number 1 option. Because when they traded for AD, like they're like, yes, finally, aging LeBron doesn't have to carry the team no more.
true
Last-
fact.
Last season,
And
that
that's
wasn't
all
the
he's been
case.
doing.
Yeah. Fact.
Like,
Just let the man rest.
Honestly, bro.
so for my team, I got the crosstown rival. I got the Clippers. I'm just excited to see hopefully John Wall play again. I'm on.
Facts.
I've been a John Wall fan since he was on the Wizards, but like, you know, he hasn't played in almost 2, maybe even 3 years. I don't even know how long anymore. So, and then with Kawhi coming back and PG coming off his little injury or whatever, hopefully they can actually like do something and be competitive. Because I don't want to see any of those players lose, even though they're on the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just be happy to see them win, as long as it's not against the Lakers.
No, that's solid. That was my second guess. Like if you said you were gonna stick with Lakers, I would have taken Clippers. Dude, this John Wall, the playmaker he is, with that monster Kawhi looking buff as hell for no reason. Like that's gonna be fun to see for sure.
And it's like I feel like they can all play defense. Obviously Kawhi, but John Wall, I think he led the league in steals at some point in his career. And then Paul George, at the 3 or 2, whatever he plays, he can guard those guys pretty well. So I think they'll be fine as long as they can stay healthy. But yeah, bro, I'm excited.
Do you think?
Oh no, go ahead.
This is a quick question. Do y'all think that they'll bench Reggie Jackson, or do you think they'll end up doing like Wall Jackson backcourt, maybe PG at the 3, maybe Kawhi at the 4? Like, do you think they'll do something like that, or do y'all think that they'll have one come off the bench? Like, what do y'all think?
Starting wise, they'll start John Wall.
Okay.
But it also depends what lineup the opponent starts with. You know what I'm saying? Like against the Warriors, they're probably going to play small ball, Yeah, so
sure.
they'll probably start John and Reggie. And then, PG at the 3, Kawhi at the 4, whoever at the 5. Do they still have Zubac?
Yeah.
So it might be Zubac. But if the other team is playing bigger, then Reggie will probably come off the bench. Because I think John Wall's like 6'3".
Yeah, they'll probably have like maybe him and Terrence Mann backcourt backup or something. Or
something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy unit.
Mm-hmm.
If you showed me this team on paper, I'd be like, yeah, that's a big 3. But all 3 of those players have like had significant injuries in their career, and I'm like hesitant to say, oh, for sure, this upcoming season. John Wall slipped and like tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
And then Paul George had that horrible injury, like halfway through his career. And like last season, he was injured for the later part of the season. And then Kawhi, tore his MCL or ACL?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's been out all this time. So like those are 3 dudes who like they're a risk now injury wise. So I hope they just get a full season together. Like if something happens after this season, whatever, they just need one good season together.
Yeah. The injury thing is kind of scary for sure, because like it's even more scary thing about like John Wall coming back and then immediately hurting himself again. Like that's a big possibility because it's been so long since he's played.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, fact. So it's just, it's exciting to think about, but like the injury risk is very much there. And I think every Clippers fan is like, knows it's there.
Yeah, they're probably gonna get anxious every time they go up for a layup or a dunk or something, bro.
Gonna be silent as hell when they go for a dunk.
That kind of made me think of like when Clay came back from his, like obviously he's not on the team or whatever, but when he had his first dunk back in his first game back or whatever, and like when he landed kind of funny, and I kind of held my breath. I was like, all right, okay, cool. And he went back on defense. I was like, okay, I feel like that's how I'm finna be when I see them play. But yeah, they're gonna be fun to see.
No, for sure. Finally, the Battle of LA, right?
Hey,
For real.
Hey, hopefully we can get that. Hopefully we can get it.
No, that would be crazy though. Fully healthy. Oh yeah, I would love to see that. They would pack that arena out so fast.
Oh, for sure.
I'll let y'all know what ticket prices are.
Oh,
I'll let y'all know.
Oh yeah, Bert, do it, please. I bet
You
you're
gotta,
being
you gotta go
insane.
for the culture, bro.
Oh yeah, we gotta pitch in so Eugene can get courtside seats.
Hey, bro, if you want to do that, I'm so down to save
gotta
you
get
money.
that.
I
Gotta get
swear
that
to God.
media pass, bro.
I will cash app you, PayPal, whatever. You gotta you gotta vlog it or something. I don't know.
Start a
That'd be fire.
GoFundMe.
Oh God.
Okay. I got for my West team, it's kind of like my East team. Like they've already proven themselves. The Warriors. I feel like I mentioned them way too much in like these episodes, man. Like there was like the was it Future Dynasty as I mentioned them. I promise you, I am not a Warriors fan. They just they won't go away. But yeah, big three: Steph, Clay, Draymond. Like they got 4 championships under their belt. Like people might like look at Draymond and be like, maybe not, but like he's a good fit for Steph and Clay. He's annoying and it works. It's gotten them chips. That's all I really have to say about them.
You know what's funny though, Vaughn? I kid you not. I could die right now. They were my backup team. I swear to God, they were my backup team. I kid you not. I have them written down right now. Yeah, I was just pretty much gonna say the same thing, bro. That's all I got. That's funny.
Yeah, the Warriors let the 4 ships speak for themselves. They're like, we don't have to do that much talking. Look at our 4 rings right here. Like, it's kind of insane.
All right. Well, my potential big three. I already said like what their past shortcomings in the poverty franchise episode, but that's the past. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I feel like their big three is Ant, Gobert, and Cat. If you want to, you know what, you probably won't argue D'Lo being big three, but I feel like it's them. So, you got obviously Ant, young star, Cat, young star, and you got Gobert, who I feel like is going to add a lot of defensive presence. Come on, 2-time defensive player of the year. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think he went
Something
back
like
to back.
that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And they're going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be, I feel like, a twin tower type thing with Cat and Gobert. You got Cat who can, he got a burner, can shoot the ball. He can complement Gobert on the offensive struggles that he has, as Vaughn mentioned earlier, and then vice versa. So, and then Ant's he's Ant. He could play, make, defend, score. He's pretty much all you need in a young star. So I feel like this team could do some damage for real. So that's what I got to say about them.
Low key,
It'd be fun to watch.
I'm pretty biased. I would have said D'Lo instead of Gobert.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I thought you would have said D'Lo.
Instead of
instead of
Ant. I ain't gonna lie,
Nah.
Man, get out of here.
And is their guy. That's their guy.
Ant got to
Like,
stay, bro. Ant the franchise player. I feel like.
literally, like he there for the next 20, bro. Like he there. But I don't know. I love D'Lo. Like I just love the way he plays. I feel like him and Ant play really well together. He is kind of streaky, but again, I'm biased. So I would have said D'Lo instead of Gobert. But you did make some good points.
Yeah,
So.
that was like the one thing, like D'Lo being like inconsistent, but like I would have considered it like more, but I feel like personally it'd be Cat and Gobert.
Mhm.
I would have said D'Lo if they didn't lose the way they did, because there's like a lot of dumb decisions, and like D'Lo would just like chuck shots. Like if they had a deep playoff run, then I'd be like, oh yeah, for sure. But like they kind of had their shot as a big three together, so I think I am in the camp that Gobert would be in the big three, even though
this was
he's got no bag.
if this was Brooklyn D'Lo, oh yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't even consider Gobert low key. But the main reason I put Gobert obviously is not even close. Like it's the defense. Like that's the main thing. That's what I thought of, and I feel like Minnesota could definitely use some of that. So
Yeah, because I never really thought as Karl-Anthony Towns as like a solid defender.
Yeah.
Like I like for a big guy, like he doesn't seem like he's got a big presence out there. Like I always think about that one picture where like Karl-Anthony Towns is trying to like
Posting
body
up.
DeMarcus Cousins and he's just like hovering over him like he's nothing. So I
Who
think Gobert will like put some ease on him now.
Yeah. Who would you guys say is 1, 2, and 3? Like option 1, option 2. I'm pretty sure we all let's just get this out of the way. We all think Gobert is number 3, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
come on.
So who do you think is 1 and 2? Is it
I would-
Ant Cat or Cat Ant?
I would probably say Cat Ant just because I feel like he's more like seasoned on the team. You could argue Ant, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna say Cat just because I feel like it could be more his team and just like I don't know. I'm gonna just say Cat. I feel like just the more experience and whatnot.
On the very low key, I would say the same thing, but give Ant like this season or next season, it's probably gonna be him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's very it's arguable. It's very debatable.
Yeah.
Very
As much
interchangeable.
as I would like to put Anthony Edwards at number 1. I think y'all are right. Like,
Right.
give him a
Like-
year. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll get to that point. But one thing about Karl-Anthony Towns is like, I didn't know this. Like, of every center in NBA history, he's got the most threes already. So that's a pretty crazy
Wild.
stat.
Insane.
So wild.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, neither did I. That's so crazy.
It might just because like he's overshadowed on like the Timberwolves, but like obviously you can't count him out as a player because dude's amazing. So
Yeah. I totally agree with you guys. I think, but I'm gonna say this is the season where Ant's like, I'm number 1. Because there's
breakout.
because there's reports that like people are saying like Ant's already better than he was last season. And like those reports keep coming out, and I'm like, oof, is this the year where Ant's like, yeah, this is my team now? Like,
I mean, I would hope that he improves.
Honestly, yeah.
As every player should.
I get true, but like
Nah, I see
with
what
that
you're
many
saying, though.
reports though, that's
Yeah.
kind of like insane.
And I think like I'm rooting for Anthony Edwards to be the number 1 because like Karl-Anthony Towns has been like the number 1 for how long now, and like only really made the playoffs twice, and people don't really credit him as the reason why. You got Jimmy Butler before, and then Pat Bev reset the culture last year. So it's like, okay, I think Anthony Edwards' turn is coming up.
Honorable mentions for West. My bad.
Did we say Pelicans?
We did not say Pelicans.
Really?
No.
What?
Zion, CJ, who's number 3?
Ingram.
Ingram.
I don't know. Bro.
Grand Theft
We gotta-
Alvarado. No,
Bro,
I'm just playing.
you
I would
gotta-
say,
I
I'll
feel
say
like-
Ingram.
I feel like we got to see what Zion does, bro. Like he's played a total of 1 season. And he spent 2 seasons in the league already. You know what I'm saying?
Would-
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, would y'all like for sure put Ingram at 3? Because like I know Zion, it's hard for him to stay healthy, but when he's on, he's on. So would y'all stay Ingram at
Oh,
3
no.
or what y'all
I
think?
think this is the first big 3 where the order is really hard.
Well, yeah, what
with
y'all
the-
think? I was
With
Yeah,
the
I
addition of
don't-
McCollum. Yeah.
I don't envy
Bro.
the coach.
I got a really hot take on that, bro. I got Brandon at 1, bro.
Oh.
I got him at 1.
that's
That's
not
not a bad take.
yeah,
That's
it's
not
not
a
a
bad
bad
take
take
at
at all.
But you got to think about it, bro. Like,
That's insane to say still though.
right.
Yeah.
You know, you got CJ who just extended. His bag is different.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon's bag is different. And then, assuming healthy Zion, he dropping 20, 25 a game, you know? So it's just like, who's going to, I mean, probably Brandon Ingram's probably going to ball handle the most, but I don't know, bruh. That's a hard, like, who are you going to run through if you're the coach? Like, if you're the coach and you're setting up the system, who are you running through? Personally, I'm running through Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, that's really
I would,
hard.
I would agree. Because,
Yeah,
all right, come clutch time, you got Brandon Ingram. Like, if you need a 3, like, it's a
Mhm.
close game, give it to Brandon Ingram because he's got length. You know he can shoot tough shots. And if he gets double teamed and they leave CJ open, CJ's used to playing as a number 2 to Damian Lillard. So he knows how to get to his spots already. So I think the argument versus Brandon Ingram versus CJ would probably play off ball better than Brandon Ingram would. So that's why I would.
And
put
he's yeah,
Ingram as
and
one.
he's played off the ball the majority of his career. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it basically already complements both of them.
Yeah.
Now, if we talking about like you need a 2-point game, you might as well just like lob it to Zion.
Just give Zion in the post and let him do his
Yeah.
thing.
Go big.
I think personally, I agree with what you guys are saying. But I think personally, I would go CJ 1 and Brandon 2, just because I'm thinking of like Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Like Chris Paul is the main ball handler, but like I'm not CJ. Devin is still like the main scorer and the main clutch guy. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm thinking it. Like CJ is like the main ball handler, but like Brandon Ingram is like, okay, we really need a basket. I'm gonna get it to him for sure. Like that's how I'm thinking about it, like gameplay wise.
I mean, I feel like you could argue that too, but I don't know. The Pelicans are. That's just a weird situation they got right
Yeah,
now.
for sure, for sure.
Would y'all do y'all think Memphis has a big three, or is it just more like Ja right now, and then like the others still kind of need to like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like
They
Yeah,
play.
That's
they
who I was going to
spread the
say for
ball
my
out.
honorable mention. I was going to say the Grizzlies.
yeah,
Who-
because
Who would you say big three?
Ja Dillon and
Jawed, what's his face? Jaren, and personally, I'm saying Desmond Bain.
you
That's
think you
right.
could you think Dillon could probably sneak his way in there or like switch with someone if like you think it's debatable or
If he has a bigger role
Mhm.
on the team, I feel like so Dylan Brooks, he was hooping pre All-Star break and obviously post All-Star break. But I feel like when Desmond Bain went to the 3-point contest, which I was like super surprised about, I feel like that gave him like an enormous amount of confidence to shoot more. And that was Dylan's role prior, I guess, to Desmond Bain. But I feel like now Desmond Bain, and he also got clamps too. I feel like Desmond Bain had a bigger role in shooting than Dylan. But to answer your question, yes, I do think he can, become a part of that big three. But I feel like also the Grizzlies also have a big five,
yeah.
So
That's why I find it hard to say like a big three because they play team ball, and that's like where their success lies. Like even if Ja goes out, they play good. If Dylan Brooks was
Yeah.
out for a good stretch too, they played good. So like it's kind of tough.
Yeah. That's another. I agree with Vaughn. Like that's why I also was iffy on big three, because it's always the most random people stepping up in certain games. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's never the same person who steps up the most. It's like one day this like Josh Jackson can go off, or one day, like it's always like random. like a random bench player can just drop 20 like or 30 like any other night. So it's just like the Grizzlies is really hard because they depend on everyone.
That's fair.
Like you can't ride the coattails on that team.
right.
I just like we don't have to like expand on them too much, but I was just thinking about it. Do you think Phoenix still has like a big three? Like
Damn.
for sure,
That
like,
was my honorable mention.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know what y'all thought about Phoenix. Like
Phoenix is
I'd
a big
say, yeah.
three. I think they are a big three, but with the Ayton situation, it's gonna stop them from reaching their potential. That's like my idea about it.
that's
Is
why
that,
like I
like-
didn't. Oh, I'm just that's why I didn't really like think of considering because like I feel like his situation's kind of iffy right now.
Yeah, like they like it's kind of like how Vaughn said on the Clippers. Like on paper, it's a good big three.
Yeah.
But like with what's going on, I don't know. If I'm Ayton, there's no way you go out there and play as if nothing's happened in the off season. Like that's just like that has to do something to their like chemistry at least. Like the pictures of him in the Suns uniform, man did not look like he wanted to be in that uniform. So I don't know. That's where I lie on the Suns.
Got you.
I would consider them a big three until something happens with Ayton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless he pulls like an AD and like he's still on the team but doesn't play until he's traded, then it's like it's not a big three. But if he continues to play, I'll consider it a big three until he's not on the team or doesn't play
Mm.
for the team or whatever.
Yeah.
If they prove that Luka doesn't own them, he doesn't own that team, I'll say they're big three.
Wow.
I'm actually glad you brought them up. I'm just like I'm spitballing right now. Like this is the last team that I got. Do you think Dallas, like on paper, like they sound like you got Wood, Dinwiddie, and Doncic? Do you think it could be a big three if everyone stays healthy, or is just more this
That's
Luka,
a
this
stretch.
Luka.
I'm a hater.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna
just
lie.
guessing. I'm just
I'm a hater.
spitballing. Oh, you don't like the
think-
Mavs?
I like the Mavs. I like Luca, but I think right now no one's helping Luca. And
It's a one-man army. Okay,
It's
that's
a
all I wanted to know
one-man
what y'all
army
thought.
for
I want
sure.
to know what y'all thought about that.
that's my opinion. Y'all can disagree.
Nah, I agree with it. Like,
Yeah.
Dinwiddie, like don't get me wrong, Dinwiddie's like he's a bucket, but he's also a
Mhm.
bench player. And big threes don't really have bench players, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Christian Wood, we don't know how well he's gonna work with them, in terms of like their whole system and how they play. But could be, I don't know. That one's a hard one. I don't think they have one though. I think it's just Luka.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I was like, on paper, like when healthy, like maybe yeah. But I'm just like I said, I'm spitballing. So
Just close your eyes and pit them against the other big threes we got, like Giannis, Drew, Middleton, Wall, Kawhi, Paul George. Like, Dinwiddie don't hang in that group.
that's dog food. Yep. That's a good way to look at it.
I think you could maybe argue it a little bit more if Brunson was still on the team. But
Mhm.
like now that he's off the team, it's gonna be harder for Luca for sure.
Yeah.
Cause like we don't know how Wood fits yet. But like I don't think Wood's gonna be like the Brunson replacement that much. Like I don't think he's gonna be like as helpful as Brunson necessarily.
Or would you throw Tim Hardaway in that top three at all?
No,
And not at all.
not at all. And that's not like he's a bad player, but he's like
Not
role
like
player,
good
but-
enough to be like the I get what you're trying to say. Like a 3-and-D type.
yeah,
He's also like streaky too, isn't he?
Yeah.
yeah.
So like I don't know. Mavs is weird because they're a solid team, but like they're also like, how are they a solid team? Is it really like
It kind
Um,
of feels like Luka's gonna go through his early LeBron Cav years. That's what this is right now. Like it's not like they're
Yeah.
bums, but like they're not.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
but like, think about if Luka was not on that team. Are they bums then?
yes,
They're not a
I'm
playoff
saying
team.
yes. I'm saying yes.
So,
Hit it
like,
with his chest.
like he really going through it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But also, I think Luca just makes the team better. Like,
Well, I mean, LeBron made that team better.
no, LeBron tried to make that team better. It wasn't working. With Luca, it's working. There's a difference. It's working for Luca. Oh man. Okay, I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't talked about my team, so I'm just gonna throw Nuggets out there. We don't have a big three. I mean, I think, I think Michael Porter, Jokic, and Murray. Like, I don't know. I think we need a little bit more time to see if Porter really is the big three guy. Gordon, I'm an Aaron Gordon. I like Aaron Gordon as a player, just not on the Nuggets. I don't like Aaron Gordon anywhere else, but on the Nuggets, I don't know. I don't see what the organization sees in Gordon, because I think right now they see Gordon as like a third option, and like that's crazy to me. Like that's so insane to me that they see Gordon as their third option.
I feel like
Mm.
people say like Aaron Gordon's like their best defender too much because like I feel like Aaron Gordon shouldn't be your best defender. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh no.
Yeah, definitely not.
And for $200 million, Michael Porter better be one of your top three players. Jeez, man. His agent
bro.
went crazy for him.
Bro, I was literally about to bring him up. I was like,
No, like
that's crazy.
Nuggets are putting all their eggs in one basket. They're not trying to win with anyone else but what they have, and it's not
really-
working. It's not working at all. So yeah, we don't have a big three at all. But you know, it's the life of a Nuggets fan.
Okay, what if you get Bubble Murray back, right? So like you got Jokic and Murray and Michael Porter Jr. They combined for like 81 points, but like Murray has 40, Jokic has 40. Porter got one.
Pulled out that Kobe Bryant, Kwame Brown.
Um, that's insane. Yeah, I don't know. Like at that point, I'll be disappointed. I'll be like, why is Michael Porter Jr. only have 1 point? maybe Bones, if they trust in their rookies a little bit more, because Bones is cold. Bones is-
nice. Yeah,
for
Bones
sure.
is nice.
So like if they trust him a little bit more, he can probably step up. But right now they're not trusting him that much. They're trusting Gordon and MPJ and Compazzo. And then yeah.
Bro,
no.
y'all gonna stop hating on Compazzo, bro. He nice.
He nice for real.
He nice.
He's not.
Baku nice, bro. Baku nice.
He's a 5'10 Milos, bro. Stop hating.
Bro,
Nice.
I think this
And
is
where's
his
he
last-
though?
Hey, he did all right on the Clippers. Don't hate.
I think this is his contract year. If I'm not mistaken, this is his last year before he's a free agent. I swear to God, if we re-sign Compazzo, I'm no longer a Denver Nuggets fan.
No, they'll ask him what the shape of Italy is. They'll probably boot him.
Like, no way.
Bro, you gonna stop hating one day, bro.
Until
you gonna see what I see, bro. You'll learn to appreciate.
Bro, until he has an IT year, I'm not gonna appreciate Compazzo whatsoever. Oh man, I think that's what we're gonna call it. I don't think we have anything else to throw out there. Next week is we're gonna be ranking the best in each position. Hopefully, at the end of that episode, we have a pretty solid, mostly agreed upon 5. But you know, who knows? There's 4 of us, so there definitely could be some leeway there. Make sure you rate us that 5 stars if you're listening in audio format. We are on every podcast platform. If you're watching in video, make sure you leave that like and subscribe. Check us out on Twitter and TikTok, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you for listening.
Sir.
Sir.
Yeah.